you've written these two great books, and you're continuing to give great information out there. You've also taken on the burden. I think this is a real burden, but also it's an honor. I also see it as to be the advocate for dogs, and when it comes to the way they're being trained, and you pull no punches. You tell it like it is, and because of that, sometimes that makes you a target. But what I love about you, Zach, is that you don't back down, because what you are doing by advocating for the vulnerable, which are our dogs, what you're doing by advocating for the vulnerable, not just in the way we raise them, but in the way we train them, is however tough and exhausting and stressful it is for you and your life, from the way that some people are threatened by your message, you do it. And I just want to say, before we even start, I want to say thank you for your voice. And I am so proud that you are here on this podcast.
I mean, it's an honor to be with you, Victoria. I would say the same about you. Your advocacy inspires the community, and it inspires people like me all the time. And yeah, thank you to you too. I mean, you've been relentless for, as long as I can remember, for pursuing ethical dog training in the field. So I appreciate the kind words. Thank you.
How did you get into this field, and what gave you that idea? As I've always been fascinated by this, what gave you this idea to start putting this stuff on YouTube?
Well, it was pretty intuitive, YouTube. At the time, I entered the dog training field through dog sports. I used to do dog frisbee competitions back in the day. And right around this time is when YouTube came out, 2005, 2006, and it was just very intuitive to be like, okay, I have a Handycam camcorder, I can put that information on the internet and share what I learned. I've always been a big fan of the scientific method, and the last step of the scientific method is to share your results, learn from it. And yeah, I think my audience has made me better for it, over the years. And yeah, I'm real fortunate, but that's how I got started on YouTube. Sure.
But that's not easy, and for somebody who tries on social media, with a capital T, tries on social media. Fortunately, the It's Me or the Dog folks do the It's Me or the Dog channel, so that's good. I don't have to do anything with that. But it's a lot of work, because not only are you making dog training understandable, you're making it really accessible, and you're making it really accessible to young people as well as older people. You're making it accessible across the board, but not everybody can do that. If you think that what Zach does is easy, I'm telling you right now, it is not. And it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of production, and it takes a lot of energy. Plus you're training on TV and you're training on camera, which is always its own beast. How do you keep reinventing and inventing and creating?
Well, when we're working with dogs, as you well know, and many of your audience will understand, every single dog is a unique experience, is different than the last, even if subtly, sometimes they're way different. It just depends. So there's always a unique story to tell with that individual dog in the process. And I was just saying yesterday in a live I was doing on Instagram how every dog teaches me something new. And it's passion. Passion keeps you going. You have to really believe in something for the advocacy end to keep doing it. It's in my heart like it is in yours. And as far as the training end goes, it's an opportunity to continually build our experience and try to become better with the interest of helping more people in the future.
My dessert coffee?
Wow! Yung limited edition Copico Blanca Winter Blend.
Creamy Copico Blanca.
Big, chewy mallows. What?
How have you found training on camera? So, for example, when you were doing Superfetch, and then also Who Let the Dogs Out for the BBC, which was very popular. How do you kind of keep your cool doing that?
Well, actually, it's two very different experiences there. And I know you've worked with both BBC and Animal Planet US as well. We've worked with a lot of the same people over the years on our TV stuff. I can't speak for BBC broadly. I know that when I was working there, what I loved about BBC Rules was we have to tell the story that is here. We're not allowed to embellish or make it look like something happened that didn't happen. And I really appreciate that, because that's my style. I always think the truth is good enough. If the dog's not doing it, okay, well, let's tell that story. And and explain it and all of that. Whereas, in the American experience, cable TV, they're not quite so. They're not quite so. At least in my experience, I can't speak for anyone else. They don't adhere to that as well as I would like in general. But good experiences overall. I look at my experience in TV as my film school. I've been able to take a lot of those lessons learned and do very abbreviated versions of them myself, learning how to edit and things like that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, you did. Social media is truly where it's at now. I mean, as we're moving into the social media age and beyond, it really is. That's where it's at. And I have to say, podcasts are great too. So many people are listening to podcasts because we can listen to them while we're walking the dog or while we're driving our car. And, it's the same with audiobooks as well. Who reads a book? I do read it. I'm a big reader. But, we listen to so much. So you have all of these platforms. You are, and you're very proud of this, known as a proponent of positive reinforcement dog training. So you use the gentle reward-based methods, and you show how it works with all kinds of different dogs, all kinds of different situations. And so your proof is like when you say that something works, you show that it works. So you have all of this data to back up why you do what you do. And now, this has made you, you've always been pretty outspoken, but this has kind of put you on top of the pile when it comes to advocating for dogs and holding people accountable to the welfare of dogs or to welfare in dog training. What made you take that mantle? What made you do this? Because I know how stressful it is. So why would you want to put more stress on yourself by doing this?
Like you, we are in unique positions to see how outdated dog training advice affects the masses. We get the emails, we see the videos, we see the common questions, the constant confusion. So, in a nutshell, for me, it was recognizing this glaring hole in the dog training field that a very significant portion, perhaps even most dog trainers, are not honoring the recommendations of the scientific consensus on the issue. In 2021, just for those that don't know, the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior updated their position statement, stating that aversive methods don't need to be used for behavior modification or in animal training, and that they have side effects, and those side effects are unnecessary because we have alternatives available. And when I see so many dog trainers, I put out a video when it happened, Bree and I did, and we put out a video when that happened, and just to see the immediate dismissal from the aversive dog training community, not taking it seriously, and that continues to this day. We believe in a strategy of calling in and calling out. We try to address individuals sometimes privately, most of the time privately, on the issues to see if we can get on the same page, because we think it's really misleading to the broad general public when we have influential people in the field denying non-controversial scientific consensus. I say non-controversial because in the scientific behavior science community, it's not controversial at all. It seems to be mostly exclusively aversive dog trainers who want to deny the consensus that pain and fear are inappropriate in professional dog training.
Why do you think this is? Why do you think, with all of that, and I have had another guest that is going to come on this podcast, who has been in this industry for 50 years and is done both sides, as it were. And I asked him the question of, why do you think that people with all of this information out there, this wealth of knowledge, and as the behavioral science and cognitive science expands and revolutionizes our understanding of dogs, why is it that people can't get away from aversive or their beliefs in aversive at all costs? Why can they not do that? Why are they so threatened by this new way, which is not new at all, but why are they so threatened by it?
Dr. Zazie Todd, whom I know you know, I just had a lovely meeting with her as well, put out a wonderful paper on barriers to the adoption of humane dog or practices. I think I botched the title of that a little bit, but and she really goes into a lot of that. You know, anecdotally speaking, from my perspective, it's a very multifaceted issue. The reason people train aversively ranges from simply not knowing their own ways to scientific illiteracy to misogyny to toxic masculinity to colonialization. Colonial ways are very much rooted in punishment culture, and I think there are a lot of reasons that people reject the modern scientific consensus when it comes to ethical treatment of dogs by professionals. And let me be clear, our advocacy work, while I would love everyone to use positive reinforcement, we are laser focused, particularly on personalities in the field who cater their services to up-and-coming dog trainers, to existing dog trainers. And so we choose our battles, for lack of a better term, very carefully when it comes to that. But yes, multifaceted issue. I think there are many reasons.
海上自卫队116舰，我是中国海军101舰火编队江岸计划组织舰载机飞行训练。This is China Navy Warship 101. Our formation organizes shipboard aircraft flight training as planned. Over.
Chinese warship 101. This is Japan warship 116. I complete your message.
Imee down. Yes. Ay, nako, Ray. Malagpas pa dito tayo. Kanan. Sit. Rest.
I do think there is a threat from the sort of the positive training industry, and I do think there is an attempt to try and stamp out and minimize what we do by saying stupid things like, oh, this only works, or positive only works on small dogs and puppies and issues that are just like not like things like aggression and stuff like that. That actually, you need to have aversive trainers because, or for example, if you want to rescue a dog and you've got a dog that's showing aggressive response, the only way that dog is going to be saved is by an aversive trainer. They say things like that, and you can say till you're blue in the face and tell them that actually no, because here's the reality of it. Let me show you how it's done, but they don't want to learn because they don't want to see, and they just keep repeating the same old tired argument. Yawn, but it's something that it's out there, like one of these dog training myths that all dogs want to be dominant.